In this segment, I want to show you the best way to actually test an engine. What you're trying to do is determine the best RPM or thrust or torque or whatever data you're trying to measure for any particular setup. Now, what's a setup? A setup is a propeller and a pipe adjusted for length. For every single propeller, there's going to be an optimum length of this system that'll give you the most power, thrust, torque, again, whatever you're measuring. So in this particular case, I have the standard 10.6 prop. That's sort of like the regular prop for a 46 size engine. I've also set this length at about the right length for this particular prop. And that piece of information I'm going to provide to you as a starting point. So when you actually go to the test stand, you'll be able to set it up like this, put the prop on it, test it, and make sure that you're getting data that is very similar to what I get. That way, when you move on to other props and other pipes, you can be more comfortable with how you're going to do it. So in this video, what you're going to see is I'm going to start the engine and I'm going to turn in the high-speed needle valve using a tack until I get the peak RPM. You do that by just turning in slowly and watching the tack. When you get to peak RPM, don't hold it there. That's a place where it's going to get hot, and it's going to get hot in a hurry. But you do need to know where that is as far as the needle valve is concerned. So then, after you found the peak RPM, you open the needle valve about a turn, and you let the RPM drop down maybe 2,000 RPM. So in this particular technique, you could screw the needle valve back and forth to get the maximum RPM, but what I'm going to do is show you an easier way to do that. You're going to find the position of the needle valve where it's going to be rich, a couple of thousand RPM. So then, while the engine's running, you're going to reach up and you're going to shut off the pressure to the tank. When you shut off the pressure to the tank, the RPM will start building. It'll build, it'll build, it'll build. The engine will get to peak RPM, and then it's going to slow down. When it slows down to a 300, you're going to see that, and you're going to turn loose of the tube. When you turn loose of the tube, now you're going to know what the peak RPM is for that setup. Do it about 3 times, just like this. Hold it, get peak RPM, turn it loose. Hold it, get peak RPM, turn it loose. So you get 3, 4 datum points. You write that down. You've got RPM, you've got pipe length, and you're going to be done with that particular setup and that prop. So I'm going to do that and demonstrate for you so you can see and hear what happens. I'm going to use the same technique we used before. Throttle at about 1/3. Hook up this. And we're going to start. Same way as I talked in the other video. I hope you could hear that. I took it to the peak RPM just to find that needle position. Then I opened it up about one turn, and it went from 16,500 down to about 14,500. Then, pinching this, I got 16,500 to 16,600 every single time. So now I know at this particular pipe length, on this particular prop, I'm turning about 16,550 to 16. Actually, one time I saw 16,700, but you're going to get 100 or 2 variation when you run the tests.